Good afternoon, folkers. Good evening, wherever you're at in the world. This is Snapzilla Gorilla. Welcome to the Definition of Anarchy channel. Today is Tuesday, June 2nd, 2020. And today, I want to go over the definition of law and order and discuss it a little bit. All right? So this is the literal definition of law and order, right? A situation characterized by respect for and obedience to the rules of a society. There's two words in there that stand out to me: respect and obedience. Okay, why does respect stand out? Well, because respect, to me, when I think of respect is something that has to be earned, something that has to be worked for, something that you have to give in return. All right, and when I think of obedience, I think of a lack of respect in one direction, right? So obedience to me applies that you are forced to respect someone or a rule or a law without it having to respect you. You understand what I'm saying? There are laws out there that are put in place with no regard for respect for human beings, okay? And we are expected to obey these laws, right? So the fact that there is respect and obedience in the same sentence in regards to law and order, I mean, it's just kind of funky to me. You guys have to pardon me. I just got through working out at the park. I did some wind sprints, which are very important, and I also did some jump roping. You know, so I've been getting it in. Let me tell y'all something, man. If you want to build endurance and speed and build leg muscles, sprinting is the way to go. You know, jogging is okay, but you can do a bunch of wind sprints in a third of the time or a quarter of the time that you would take to get the work done doing a jog. Okay, and then when you add jump rope on top of that, I mean, I eliminated maybe an hour or two out of my workout, burning as many calories. Anyway, that's just the pointer. What I want to talk about is how law and order has been used a lot as of late, especially in regards to these riots and these protests. Okay, now your esteemed president, Trump, yesterday came out and was saying that, and actually said that he is the president of law and order.
I am your president of law and order.
Well, that is him telling you that he has no respect for human life. I mean, what this is about is ushering in a new age of control in this country. When you're talking about mobilizing active troops on American soil.
I will deploy the United States military and quickly solve the problem for them. I am also taking swift and decisive action to protect our great capital, Washington, D.C. What happened in this city last night was a total disgrace. As we speak, I am dispatching thousands and thousands of heavily armed soldiers, military personnel, and law enforcement officers to stop the rioting, looting, vandalism, assaults, and the wanton destruction of property.
Using the Insurgency Act, right? The Insurrection Act. I guess there's an act that says that in case of an insurrection, blah, blah, blah. Well, it's interesting how all these things are lining up, right? You had the coronavirus happen. You had the lockdowns, getting us used to being locked in our homes, getting used to us seeing National Guard on the street, right? Getting us used to a new level of law and order. Then you have the Arbery case having a life shed on that. Then you have I forgot her name, man. Breonna Jeffrey. I forgot her name. The EMT that was shot. Correct me in the comment section, please. Breonna something. I forgot her name. Breonna. Forgot her last name. But she was murdered in her home, shot 8 times, and it come to find out, just so you guys know, that the suspect, the drug dealer in this whole situation, was already in custody. Okay, just to point that out. So you have that. Then you have, like I said, you have Arbery. Then you have that. You have the coronavirus thing, and then what do you get? You get George Floyd. George Floyd is murdered. Okay, and just so y'all know, ABL just came out with a new video shitting on the second autopsy because of this, that, and the third. You know, ABL, he's a lost cause. I'll probably call in and show him one more time and go in on him, and that'll be it, man. It's a waste of energy. But anyway, look, I know I'm all over the place with this one. When you see the Hodge twins, even the Hodge twins are saying that regardless of the autopsy, right, the initial autopsy by the county coroner, even with that, they still believe that Chauvin needs to be locked up, put away, and held responsible for the murder of George Floyd. Even them, like, yo, that shit, that surprised the shit out of me. And to not saying that that ABL should think the same thing because they do, but when you have cats like the Hodge twins who are even more, I don't know, I don't know the levels of the levels of what do you call that when you're all into something? Y'all know what I'm saying. My brain is farting right now. I just got through working out and my brain is trying to get back in order. Anyway, the Hodge twins are more aggressively black conservative to me than ABL. ABL comes off as cool, calm, collected, reasonable and all this other stuff. But I'm coming to find out that all that shit is a facade to me. I'm seeing shit. His actions don't speak his words. I mean, what the fuck am I? His actions don't match his words. Y'all know what I'm saying, man. Leave me alone. Anyway, so this Law and Order thing, what was I saying? Oh, so we know George Floyd was murdered by this pig, right? And it doesn't matter what the autopsy says. See, they want to say, oh, he had a heart condition. He had coronary, blah, blah, blah. Oh, he had fentanyl in the system. He had meth in the system. Okay. Listen, if that made it easier for him to die, that doesn't mean that he wasn't murdered. That doesn't mean that Derek Chauvin didn't cause his death. That just made it just means it made it easier for him to die. Let me tell you something, man. If I'm less than 200 pounds now. I'm like 195 pounds right now, right? 6 foot, 195 pounds. And I'm in good shape. You know what I mean? I have some musculoskeletal issues, with my back and my knees and stuff. But I'm in pretty good shape. I don't smoke. I don't drink. My lung capacity is good. I don't have heart failure. Matter of fact, I just had a CAT scan done of my whole upper torso. All of my organs are in good shape. I don't have any fatty tissue in my organs. I don't have anything going on, right? Other than a little bit of plaque, the tiniest amount of plaque in my arteries over here, right in my neck, that were made smaller by the fact that I changed my diet and got into exercise. So when I was pre-diabetic, I'm pretty sure I had quite a bit of plaque in my arteries. Maybe not quite a bit, but y'all get what I'm saying. I'm in pretty good shape, right? And even with me, someone my size, and my weight, my height, if another grown man had me on my chest, on the ground, four men, three men actually, two on my extremities, right, and one pressed down on my neck, I don't think it would have taken that much longer for me to die. You see what I'm saying? From that type of thing going on. I don't believe that. I don't believe that it would. I don't think George Floyd would have survived even if he was healthy, Because what you're doing is you're cutting a carotid artery off, right? And you're compressing their larynx, even from the side and from the back. You can still kink it, like I said before. You know what I'm saying? So you're doing that for a large amount of time. You're talking about 8 to 9 minutes of having someone press down without any relief whatsoever. Continuous pressure on my neck, on my carotid artery, on my larynx from the side, the compression for 9 minutes. I wouldn't have survived that much longer than him. You see? And he had a whole 3-minute span from when he passed out, right? When his lights went out, to when Chauvin brought his neck off. And then on top of that, no one performs any CPR. The so-called paramedics, whatever the hell they were, came and just snatched his ass and threw him on a gurney. They had no regard for his person. Just threw his ass on a gurney like he was a doll, like they already knew he was dead. Then they slam him in it. Who knows they even could perform CPR in the ambulance? So everyone involved is in some form or fashion responsible for George Floyd's death, including the bystanders that just stood there and allowed it to happen. Not to the degree of the pigs, not to the degree, not even the smallest amount. What I'm saying is morally, right? In their own mind, they should feel pretty bad about allowing this to happen. And this is the problem with law and order. Okay, this is what I'm getting to. This is my whole point. Because of law and order, right? Because of the idea of law and order and how it is put out in society, how we should behave, right? With law and order. I'm the president of law and order, right? I'm the president of law and order, and I'm going to call my troops to come, and heavily armed troops, heavily armed this. Come on, man. Law and order. It wasn't just Derek Chauvin and his fellow pigs that made this murder happen. It was also law and order. Law and order prevented these bystanders from intervening and saving George Floyd's life. I know. A lot of people say, if I was there, I would have kicked the cop in the chin, including the hot swings, which surprised you. That surprised me. But, to say that, he could have survived if it wasn't for law and order. Law and order, right, is the reason the controllers have the foothold they have. Law and order is a construct. Law and order is a construct of the elite, of the banking system. Well, if we want to continue to control what we control using our banking system, using our currency system, then we need law and order to keep these Mickey Figgies in line, so that we can continue to exploit and rape all of these nations and all this other shit. That's what law and order brings you. Law and order is why cops can walk down the street, walk down your block, while you're standing out on your porch and yell for you to go inside. And if you don't go inside, they'll shoot you with a paint canister. That's what law and order brings. Okay? Law and order is also why people are rioting. Law and order is why people are destroying buildings, destroying businesses, destroying livelihoods, killing each other out on the streets because of law and order. Law and order cannot take for very long. People tend to buck against law and order after a certain amount of time. People get fed up with it, and they want a change. What they ultimately want, and what they don't know what they want, is an anarchist system. Okay? Now, Trump mentioned several times in his speech yesterday about anarchy, right? He conflated anarchy with chaos and destruction. That's not what anarchy is. That's not what anarchy simply means no rulers. And in a later video, I'll also do the definition of anarchy. All right. But that's all it means. It means no rulers. Why would someone want rulers? They don't understand this. And when you ask certain people, do you want a ruler? Oh, not really, but to some degree. Why to any degree? You can't live your own life. You can't make your own decisions. You can't live your life on an even playing field. You can't live your life on a straight and narrow without someone telling you how to do it. You don't automatically know that you don't harm others, that you don't steal from others, that you don't kill others, that you don't destroy other people's property, that you don't violate people's privacy. You don't already know that. You don't take from people any form of fashion. You don't invade them on people's territory, right? You can't do that without a ruler. You can't build a bridge. You can't build a road. You can't rope a house with and give it electricity without a ruler. No, I learned. I know how to rope a house. I know how to wire a house. I know how to wire a building. I know how to wire a water pump station. I know how to perform motor control and air conditioning controls. I know a little bit of instrumentation, but a ruler didn't show me how to do that. So, y'all get what I'm saying. Law and order, it ain't shit. I don't need it. I don't want it. Neither should we. Law and order is why we're in the position we're in. And yeah, y'all let me know what y'all think though. Y'all like law and order? Do y'all want law and order in your life, destroying it? Or do you think that it does good for you? Y'all let me know. I'm not going to sway you to one direction or other. Y'all let me know what y'all think. What do you guys think law and order is? Aside from the literal definition, what do you think law and order is? Do you think it's beneficial? And if it is beneficial, are you if law and order is beneficial to you and you love law and order, can you have that somewhere else on your own, in your own little community, and leave other people out of it that don't want it? Or do you want to force it on other people? And to me, that's when it becomes a problem. If you want a ruler, if you want someone to rule over you, if you want law and order, if you want people to place rules on you and tell you what to do, when to do it, and how to do it, which way to do it, up, down, left, right, and out, that's up to you. But that doesn't mean that I have to abide by that. Anyway, that's all I got for now. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. And I'll holler at y'all later. Peace easy, my kneesies. Keep it greasy.
My fellow Americans, my first and highest duty as president is to defend our great country and the American people. I swore an oath to uphold the laws of our nation, and that is exactly what I will do. All Americans were rightly sickened and revolted by the brutal death of George Floyd. My administration is fully committed that for George and his family, justice will be served. He will not have died in vain. But we cannot allow the righteous cries and peaceful protesters to be drowned out by an angry mob. The biggest victims of the rioting are peace-loving citizens in our poorest communities. And as their president, I will fight to keep them safe. I will fight to protect you. I am your president of law and order and an ally of all peaceful protesters. But in recent days, our nation has been gripped by professional anarchists, violent mobs, arsonists, looters, criminals, rioters, Antifa, and others. A number of state and local governments have failed to take necessary action to safeguard their residents. Innocent people have been savagely beaten, like the young man in Dallas, Texas, who was left dying on the street, or the woman in upstate New York viciously attacked by dangerous thugs. Small business owners have seen their dreams utterly destroyed. New York's finest have been hit in the face with bricks. Brave nurses who have battled the virus are afraid to leave their homes. A police precinct has been overrun here in the nation's capital, the Lincoln Memorial, and the World War II memorial have been vandalized. One of our most historic churches was set ablaze. A federal officer in California, an African-American enforcement hero, was shot and killed. These are not acts of peaceful protest. These are acts of domestic terror. The destruction of innocent life and the spilling of innocent blood is an offense to humanity and a crime against God. America needs creation, not destruction. Cooperation, not contempt. Security, not anarchy. Healing, not hatred. Justice, not chaos. This is our mission, and we will succeed. 100%, we will succeed. Our country always wins. That is why I am taking immediate presidential action to stop the violence and restore security and safety in America. I am mobilizing all available federal resources, civilian and military, to stop the rioting and looting, to end the destruction and arson, and to protect the rights of law-abiding Americans, including your Second Amendment rights. Therefore, the following measures are going into effect immediately. First, we are ending the riots and lawlessness that has spread throughout our country. We will end it now. Today, I have strongly recommended to every governor to deploy the National Guard in sufficient numbers that we dominate the streets. Mayors and governors must establish an overwhelming law enforcement presence until the violence has been quelled. If a city or state refuses to take the actions that are necessary to defend the life and property of their residents, then I will deploy the United States military and quickly solve the problem for them. I am also taking swift and decisive action to protect our great capital, Washington, D.C. What happened in this city last night was a total disgrace. As we speak, I am dispatching thousands and thousands of heavily armed soldiers, military personnel, and law enforcement officers to stop the rioting, looting, vandalism, assaults, and the wanton destruction of property. We are putting everybody on warning. Our 7 o'clock curfew will be strictly enforced. Those who threaten innocent life and property will be arrested, detained, and prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. I want the organizers of this terror to be on notice that you will face severe criminal penalties and lengthy sentences in jail. This includes Antifa and others who are leading instigators of this violence. One law and order, and that is what it is. One law. We have one beautiful law. And once that is restored and fully restored, we will help you, we will help your business, and we will help your family. America is founded upon the rule of law. It is the foundation of our prosperity, our freedom, and our very way of life. But where there is no law, there is no opportunity. Where there is no justice, there is no liberty. Where there is no safety, there is no future. We must never give in to anger or hatred. If malice or violence reigns, then none of us is free. I take these actions today with firm resolve and with a true and passionate love for our country. By far, our greatest days lie ahead.